So didn't Donald Trump say that he was going to immediately lower egg prices as soon as he was elected? Before he even took office, egg prices were magically going to drop, right? Well, already the media is making excuses for him when egg prices go up, up, up after Biden did a good job getting them under control. Here's what CBS is reporting, and watch what they're doing here. The CBS reports, eggs are getting scarcer and pricier ahead of the holidays. Here's why. You go into the story and it talks about an avian flu outbreak. I'll get into more of that. And they try to be very nuanced and say it's actually because of this avian flu. And unlike just saying it's Biden's fault, they're saying, well, actually, there's some complex issues here, but we're not going to let Donald Trump off the hook. More on that in a moment. This is from World News Tonight, ABC News. They say a spike in bird flu cases is impacting egg supply and driving up prices ahead of the holidays and into 2025. Very nuanced position now there. And New York Post, of course, got a cover for Donald Trump. Egg shortages spread nationwide and prices spike ahead of holiday season. And they go in to talk about the avian flu outbreak. Washington Post, grocers report egg shortage ahead of holidays amid surging bird flu. Avian influenza has affected more than 108 million poultry in 48 states since 2022, lifting prices and diminishing supply. I want to share this with you as well, because now you have people like Frank Luntz, a MAGA sympathizer. He's trying to get ahead of this too because he knows these egg prices are going to spike. So watch what he does here. He quotes Jerome Adams, who's the former Surgeon General under Donald Trump. And Jerome Adams is talking about avian flu outbreaks and whooping cough outbreaks and 100,000 global measles deaths. It's like there's complexity in the world that requires nuanced understandings like the type we try to deliver here at the Midas Touch Network. And Frank Luntz responds, former Trump Surgeon General Jerome Adams makes a good point here. What do you think will happen to the price of eggs if bird flu H5N1 keeps infecting and killing chickens? I side with Carlos Turnbull here, who says, no. If half the chickens in the country die from bird flu and the price of chicken and eggs doubles, it will 100% be Donald Trump's fault. Those are the MAGA rules. Those were the media rules when President Biden was in charge, and we're not changing them in the middle of the game. Period. Full stop. Let's take a look at what CBS is reporting here, and I want to make sure we're all aware of the situation, and I want to remind us that, remember what they were saying, that Biden was the one responsible. It was egg prices, egg prices, egg prices. You know what, before doing this CBS article, let me share this with you right here. Here is a montage just this is how the recount says it. Did egg prices cost Kamala Harris the election? Here, just watch this montage. Here, play this clip.
To say that the economy is good when people still think the price of eggs is too damn high is not a winning message.
While Donald Trump has an inability often to tell the truth to so many Americans is the price of eggs.
Our eggs are 160% higher. The price of eggs.
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 The price of eggs. There are not enough chips in the bag.
I eat a lot of meat and a lot of eggs, and I'm paying twice what I paid 4 years ago.
Do your eggs cost $12 too? Mine too. This is some and then the Asian guy's like, yeah, no, me too. And then pretty soon there's this whole coalition of multicultural broke people who just want some eggs.
The cost of a gallon of milk or a dozen eggs or the price of gasoline, it's what I was about to say trumps the all others, but I guess that's really what we saw too.
And then remember J.D. Vance? He showed up at grocery stores and he would do the stunt where he was holding the carton of eggs and he would say, eggs when Kamala Harris took office were short of $1.50 a dozen. Now a dozen eggs will cost you around $4 thanks to Kamala Harris's inflationary policies. It's because she cast the deciding vote on the Inflation Explosion Act. I think he's referring to the Inflation Reduction Act, which actually brought inflation under control when America was leading the entire world in bringing inflation down. By the way, this is back in February of 2023. Here's what Kevin McCarthy had to say when he was still Speaker of the House. Here, play this clip.
Every breakfast, people used to have eggs and think it was no big deal, just some protein. Now it's almost a specialty because the price is so high.
Let's go and take a look now at that CBS article. Eggs are getting scarcer and pricier ahead of the holidays. Here's why. I shouldn't even have to read the article, right? The answer is because of Donald Trump. That's why. It's because of Donald Trump. Why give Donald Trump any nuance, any out? You didn't for Biden. There was no complex thought right there. It's because of Trump, obviously. Trump's going to be in charge. Trump said he'll fix it. It's going to go up, up, up. It's his fault. Same thing, mortgage rates right now. It's actually directly Donald Trump's fault, right? Because Donald Trump's screwing with the bond markets based on his inflationary policies and the types of things he wants to implement with Project 2025. So mortgage rates have jumped significantly since Trump won the election, before Trump's even assumed office. Trump gets the blame there. If you're struggling to buy a house, that's Donald Trump's fault. And don't ask me. I mean, just that's why interest rates are up, period, full stop. I don't have to get to areas of deeper complexity. Also, when it comes to places like Walmart and other retailers that are raising their prices, it's because of Donald Trump's threatened tariffs. It's just that simple. Well, I'll go into the CBS article so you see what they're writing here. Americans planning to do some holiday baking this year may have to scramble to track down a key ingredient. Some stores around the U.S. are running short of eggs, especially those operating in states that require eggs from cage-free hens, as cases of highly pathogenic avian influenza, HPAI, flare and the virus spreads from wild birds to commercial flocks. More than 40% of the nation's roughly 300 million egg-laying hens are raised in cage-free facilities, but roughly 60% of bird flu cases recently detected involved cage-free farms. After 2 months of no outbreaks, we had them recently in Utah, Oregon, California, and Washington, and 3 of those states are exclusively cage-free. Emily Metz, chief executive and president of the American Egg Board, told CBS Money Watch, where we are hearing reports of shortages is at stores like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. After a brief respite from bird flu among commercial egg producers, HPAI struck again starting in mid-October, resulting in the loss of 2.8 million birds. The nation's egg production fell 2.6% last month from a year ago and is projected to be down 1% this year versus 2023. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Economic Research Service recently said in a monthly report, the outbreak, which began in January of 2022, January 22. Maybe that's why egg prices were up. Maybe that's the reason when we were trying to say, now you want to go there, have affected nearly 110 million chickens, turkeys, and other birds, including wild, commercial, and backyard flocks in 49 states, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. It goes on to talk about how experts forecast that egg prices could stay at elevated levels for the rest of the year and into 2025. So, in other words, the price of eggs is not going to drop. Also, one of the things that we found out in some of the antitrust litigation against Kroger, Costco, Albertson, Target, Walmart, and others, specifically I'm talking about now the Kroger litigation, is that a lot of the sellers, as well as even the individuals who source these eggs, the big agriculture, they were using the bird flu as a way to price gouge and to raise prices higher, was what was being said. Okay, so I want to show you too now as people are reacting to this as well. Just take a look at some of these. These are great. This is an individual on TikTok. When are eggs and gas prices going down? Watch his response.
So when are eggs and gas prices going to be lower? Who told you we could control that? You guys? The people I voted for? Oh yeah, we did say that. Look, like gas prices and eggs, we don't really have control over it. If they go down, we're gonna take credit for it. But if they go up, we'll just blame it on somebody else. So no to the gas prices. I mean, if you want to, you could buy like an electric vehicle. You guys told me electric vehicles were horrible and bad. We did, yes, but that was before Elon Musk became the first lady. And so now we think that the Cybertruck is super cool, and it doesn't look like a polygon that was built in Blender. What else are you guys gonna do? Well, day one, he's just gonna pardon himself of all of his felonies. That's like really important to him. Second day, we're probably gonna get rid of the Department of Education because, you know, who wants to be smart? That's stupid. And then we're going to get rid of NATO. We're just going to X out of that. And because who needs allies, right? Like, that's stupid, again, just like the Department of Education. And then we're going to have Marjorie Taylor Greene be in charge of the weather control systems because, you know, she's good with, like, the lasers and space stations and stuff like that. And I think finally we're just going to send everybody a free copy of Idiocracy. How about that? Okay, but like, what about the gasoline prices? I just told you we can't do that. Did you graduate high school or get your GED? Well, if you didn't, guess what? We're getting rid of the Department of Education, so you won't be able to.
Here we say the price of gas and eggs isn't going down, but the women's rights you sold off, they're gone. So people are like, well, I'm going to have to sacrifice my freedoms to lower the price of eggs. Well, now you've sacrificed both. Here, play this clip.
This goes for everybody, including my own family. I will never respect anyone who sold off their daughter's rights to save 50 cents on a carton of eggs and maybe 10 cents on gas. Newsflash, they're both going to go up.
And here, thought this guy does a great job. Republicans want to slash Social Security and Medicare so they can extend Trump's 2017 tax cuts to the same billionaires and corporations whose price gouging also was partly responsible for making gas and eggs expensive. Here, play this.
One of the big factors in this election was the price of eggs, which was really just a metaphor for how expensive everything's been at the grocery store lately. And what are Republicans doing about that? They're already talking about slashing Medicare and food stamps and other forms of governmental assistance in order to extend Trump's 2017 tax cuts that primarily benefited the rich and gigantic corporations, which are the same people and institutions that have been price gouging all of us at the grocery store the last few years.
And look, the bottom line is the same rules apply. Trump said he was going to, like a miracle, fix it on day one. So he said that the war in Ukraine was going to end, Russia's unlawful invasion. That hasn't happened. I don't see any signs of a ceasefire happening in Israel. In fact, Donald Trump's appointed people who, like Mike Huckabee, who say they're going to bulldoze and destroy Palestine, who are not for a two-state solution. I see mortgage rates up in response to Trump. I see consumer prices up already in response to Donald Trump. But I guess, what should we do? The Trump dance? The YMCA dance? Huh? Is that what we should do? It's the facts. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Midas by signing up to the Midas Touch newsletter at MidasTouch.com/newsletter.